What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego back with some more boxing. Now, my God, in case you haven't heard, make sure you check out the brother 78SportsTV and his recent video. It's called Big Boxing Companies Scared of 78 Sports. And I'm glad he spoke out on this. 78SportsTV, he called me earlier today. It was a missed call, had to call him back. And I spoke with him on the phone. He was absolutely livid, and he has every right to be. So I figured I'd give the Ego thoughts, let you know my thought process, kind of discuss the backstory and what I feel on this. So basically, if you're not in the loop, this is what happened. 78SportsTV, he has a channel, he gives predictions, exclusive interviews, and it's boxing. He talks boxing and informative videos for the public. He had a reliable source, or he thought a reliable source, that said Mayweather and Pacquiao are going to fight in 2014. He said they're trying to keep it under wraps, keep it hush-hush, which is no surprise because Floyd Mayweather's done that in the past, like the Canelo fight. Everyone's like, oh, Mayweather will never fight Canelo, and then randomly I woke up and there was a tweet from Mayweather and he was like, oh, I picked my opponent for September and it's Canelo Alvarez, and the world was like, oh, damn. So as far as the source, it has every right to think he has every right to think it's valid, because there was also reports that Pacquiao was going to meet in Vegas with Mayweather. So he posted a video in the YouTube boxing community on his boxing channel, and it spread like wildfire. People picked it up. Other different companies and channels started reporting it based on this source. Then Mayweather comes out and says that all this isn't true, and pretty much he deads all the rumors and squashes that notion, saying, I'll never work with Bob Arum ever again. Me and Pacquiao have no fights. We still haven't heard who the fuck Mayweather is going to be fighting for his next fight. So everyone's out in the loop. He did a follow-up video. Now you have a big box company who's targeting him and basically trying to insult him. And they're also insulting the YouTube boxing community, basically saying that, hey, we're the big box, and if you didn't hear from us, then it's not a credible source, and basically trying to pull rank and act like a powerhouse. The problem with that is, if you really break it down to the molecule, there's a lot of boxing channels on here that are far superior than some of the big boxing. Just because you're a big entity doesn't mean shit. There's people who have raw talent. There's people who are better than you. They may not have the audience, or the pockets might not be as deep as yours, or they may not have all the connections, but that for damn sure doesn't mean that they're not better than you or what you're doing or your movement. That's like me saying Britney Spears is the best singer ever because she's the most popular. That don't mean shit. There's a lot of people in the industry who have the right connections and they have notoriety and people know who they are, but that doesn't mean that they're the best. Just because Soulja Boy has more money or he's more well known than rapper B, that doesn't mean he's better than him in any right. And the thing with these big boxes is, sometimes the longer they've been a channel, or the more fame or followers they get, the more of a following they get, the more they tend to drift off, and to the point where they become biased. They develop relationships with these people. Now, Floyd Mayweather, hell of a fighter. I appreciate him for what he does in the ring. However, he's still a person. He's still human. He was created just like I was created. He eats, breathes, shits, and sleeps just like me. So sometimes you get these big boxing entities and they start feeling themselves. And they feel themselves to the point where they start to, like I said, try to pull rank, and they think they trump what other people are doing. Now, I don't agree with that. And especially when you got guys like 78. 78, if you watch his channel, he has legit videos. He has exclusive interviews that really keep the sport of boxing alive. If you go to his page right now, you'll see interviews with Jesse Vargas, Asumanu Adama, who's recently scheduled to fight Triple G. Some people know who Gennady Golovkin is. They don't know a damn about Adama. So for the first time, these fans have the ability to hear from Gennady Golovkin's opponent and maybe gain a respect for him or know what Triple G's in for. A lot of these big boxing channels, they might be powerhouses or have a bigger following, which some of them pay for, but that doesn't mean shit because some of them lack boxing knowledge. They don't know simple shit. I remember there was a press conference, I think it was Bernard Hopkins, and he posed a question. It was a very basic question, and nobody on press row knew what the fuck the answer was. And it was something basic, and I was like, damn, that's easy. And I answered it. Nobody would answer it, and nobody answered it accurately, and it was really, really easy. And I was shocked. I was like, damn, all these boxing quote unquote reporters and nobody knows that, and that shit's easy. So these big boxing entities, a lot of them are feeling themselves and know little about the sport, and they're not giving us shit. Like if you look at 78 Sports TV, he did an interview with James Kirkland. Kirkland lost his promotional deal with Golden Boy. They separated and split ties. You can still go to 78 Sports TV and look and hear from James Kirkland when he was pretty much shunned from the boxing community. He's recently rebuilt, and he's now with 50 Cent and SMS Promotions. But at a time, no one was really even talking about James Kirkland. Yet 78 Sports had the wherewithal to contact this man so fans can hear him. He was still an exciting fighter. Nobody knew what the fuck was up with him, but you can go there. You come to my channel, same thing. I have exclusive interviews. I've done interviews with Alex Ariza, Mikey Garcia, and the thing about it is, on the YouTube boxing community level, a lot of times we get straight to the point. We cut out all the fat and get straight to the meat, and that's what it's about, giving the boxing fans what they want, what they desire. If you look at my interview with Mikey Garcia, I was asking real shit. Mikey Garcia, great fighter. I'm not going to kiss his ass though, and I really brought up a valid point. A lot of people that I had talked to stated, oh, he's cool, but he has no inside fight game. Listen to the interview. I bring that up. I say a lot of people, they don't see the inside fight game. What do you say to that? Put them on the spot. Sometimes you got to put these people on the fucking hot seat. And again, I don't care if it's Adrian Broner, Floyd Mayweather, Gennady Golovkin, Pacquiao, Canelo, Miguel Cotto. It could be the biggest superstar. But the one thing that's consistent is you got to be unbiased, and you got to be fair, and get to the nitty gritty. Ask what the fans want to know. The fans, this is the closest some of them will ever get to these boxers. So if you have the opportunity, instead of bragging about it, like if you look at Brand X in their article that they did where they were subliminally throwing shots at 78, they're like, I talked to Mayweather 3 times a day and he's on speed dial, so if you didn't hear from me or Al Heyman or Mayweather himself, it must not be true. Fuck that. If you have such a good relationship with Mayweather, then why are you not asking the shit that the general public wants to fucking hear? Are you going to fight Pacquiao? What about Keith Thurman? He's up and coming. He has tremendous punching power. He's proving himself. What about that fight? What do you think of Marcos Maidana and Adrian Broner? Not that surface area like, Adrian Broner's a true champion and I wish him the best. Like, drill him. Ask him questions. He's still a person. Ask him what the fans want to hear. So instead of trying to pull rank and like name drop and like, oh, Mayweather's in my fave 5. I FaceTime with Mayweather. Fuck that. Get to what's going to keep this sport alive. And that's asking the right questions. All of it's about asking the right questions. I used to be a manager, and we had to follow a guideline when we were interviewing people. The problem with the guideline is they're very generic, basic ass questions. And it doesn't really give you a feel for who that person is as an individual. It's just robotic ass basic questions to make sure we're staying consistent all across the board. And you had to pick from a handful of dumbass questions that really don't mean shit. And it doesn't give you an idea of who the fuck you're hiring, who is going to be employed with your company. And that's the problem with some of these big boxes. They think they're powerhouses, yet they're walking on eggshells because they have a Mayweather interview or because it's Adrian Broner. I don't want to offend him. It's not about offending anybody. Me, I show respect and I expect respect back. Point blank. I'm not here to diss people. I'm not here to embarrass anybody. But I do, as a journalist, as a reporter covering boxing, want to get down to the sweet science. I want to get the fans involved, and I want to get the best possible information from the athlete. If you listen to any other sport other than boxing, a lot of times the reporters ask better questions. They'll say like, oh, like the Lakers lose. They'll be like, oh, what's it like since Dwight Howard left, and they'll put Kobe Bryant on the spot. Yet you got these boxing channels, they don't want to do that. They get the superstar of the sport, Mayweather or whoever, Broner, and they don't want to offend. They want to be like dance around the issue. The fans and the public have been wondering, will this Pacquiao fight ever happen? We don't get a solid answer for shit regarding this fight. We've heard multiple different reasons. Oh, it's the purse split. Oh, I'm never working with Bob Arum. Oh, it's the drug testing. I'm afraid of needles. What the fuck is it? So there's no shame in getting to the bottom of it. That's what you should be striving to do as a reporter. And I don't appreciate some of these big boxes who just want to gallivant and act like they're the premium boxing channel and everyone else is beneath them, like the YouTube boxing community is full of peasants, when we're doing a better job with less resources than some of these big boxing entities. And it just boggles my mind. Like I said, I on my channel, I can attest to it. I've put people on the spot. Jonathan Banks, I did an interview with him right before his fight. I was asking him his predictions. I was also asking him about the late great Emmanuel Stewart. He was trained by Stewart from Detroit. This is a sensitive subject. I want to give the fans that. If you remember my interview with Peter Quillen, to my knowledge, I was the first person to talk to him, and he said in training camp, preparing for Gabe Rosado, his wife unfortunately had a miscarriage. I delivered that news via my video, and we prayed together, and that's stuff you can't duplicate. Not these robotic ass questions. Like, they ask Mayweather sometimes the dumbest questions on possible. Like, have you seen Despicable Me 2, Mayweather? What kind of toothpaste are you using nowadays? I don't give a fuck about that. I want to hear about boxing. Again, there's plenty of things you can ask someone like Mayweather. And if you're chumming it up with Mayweather and you know him so well and he's on speed dial and he gives you the exclusives, then get some exclusive information. Get him to say more than 2 fucking syllables and provide that to the fans. That's all I'm asking. So that's really all I gotta say. This shit is annoying. We need to get back to boxing at its purest, back when Mike Tyson was fighting and he'll say whatever was on his mind, not, oh, let me dance around certain issues, or let me have these scary ass reporters who don't want to ask him anything. So props to 78 for speaking out. As far as me and my promise, I'm trying to give you guys the best possible quality information, unadulterated, unfiltered, raw, and questions that hopefully you guys can respect, stories and things that you really want to hear about. I'm not here to play starstruck. I've worked with celebrities on multiple occasions, from Ray J to other people. At the end of the day, they're human. They're people just like us. We breathe the same air. They have more money than me. That's fine and dandy, but you're going to respect me as a man. And at the end of the day, there's no shame in asking respectful questions that the fans want to hear. So let me know what you guys think. Big boxing networks and entities versus some of the smaller YouTube boxing communities. I think that there's a lot of impactful people in the YouTube boxing community that do a better job and are far less biased than some of the big companies. So let me know what you guys think. As always, hate, comment, or subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego, signing off.